Hi and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Roma and this is Roaming Required. Here we talk about all things life, travel and of course London. Today we are in Trafalgar Square, London's largest non-park public space. There's a few things you can see and do here. Some are hidden in plain sight and others are a little bit harder to find. So let's dive in and find out some quirky things about Trafalgar Square. Distances to and from London were calculated from a central spot. It is actually this block in the ground right here beside the Charles I statue. So the next time you drive a car, get on a bus or see a sign that says 50 miles to London, they mean it is 50 miles to this exact spot right here. Behind me is one of the two iconic fountains here in Trafalgar Square, but did you know they weren't a part of the original design? That's right, they were added in 1845 as a way to disperse some of the crowds that used to gather here for political protests. If you look closely, you can see the tridents, the mermaids and the dolphins that are featured onto the fountains. The fountains do operate most days. Today just happens to be a bit of a dry day. In 2012, they were turned off because there was due to a drought. And when the princes were born, they were lit up blue and they were lit up pink for Charlotte when she was born. The centerpiece of Trafalgar Square happens to be Nelson's column. Standing at 14 feet and 6 inches, it is a Grade 1 listed monument here in the city and he is flanked by 4 iconic lions. If you have a closer look at Nelson, you can see that he is facing down Whitehall towards the Admiralty, down towards Cape Trafalgar where the original battle took place. Did you know you can check the accuracy of your imperial measurements here at Trafalgar Square? Up until 1995, the Brits still used feet and inches instead of the metric system that we've all come to know and love. Here you can check the length of feet, inches, yards, chains. It's all built into the brickwork, so it is something else here in Trafalgar Square that you can check out on your next visit. Trafalgar Square is home to the world's smallest police box. Back in the 1920s, it was installed as an observation point for the police to keep an eye on the protesters that were using Trafalgar Square for political protests. Today, unfortunately, it has been reconfigured as a storage cupboard or a broom closet for the local council for the cleaners that do keep Trafalgar Square as tidy as it is today. There are 4 plinths here in Trafalgar Square. This one's King George IV. You have 2 down there and the 4th one is the most interesting one. Let's go there now. Behind me is the 4th plinth. As you can see, it's empty. It stood empty for years while people couldn't decide who to put up there and who was going to pay for it. After a public campaign, it was decided that it was going to be a public art commission. So, since we've lived in London, we've seen a giant rocking horse, Nelson's ship in a bottle, we've seen a giant blue cockerel, and as of yesterday, it was Lama Su, stood guard at a throne entrance in the Assyrian capital from 700 BC until 2015 when it was destroyed by ISIS. So it was quite a significant piece. The next piece to go up on the 4th plinth is a giant dollop of whipped cream topped with a cherry, a fly and a drone which will transmit a live feed of Trafalgar Square. So once that link goes live, I will put it in the description below, so do feel free to check it out. You'll be able to see Trafalgar any day of the year. In 2016, to coincide with London's Gay Pride Festival, around 50 sets of traffic lights near Trafalgar Square had their familiar green walking symbol replaced with new diversity images, either gender-related symbols or a new holding hands design. What was meant to be a temporary installation appears to now be permanent, as lights still remain to this day. That brings today's adventure in Trafalgar Square to a close. Thanks for joining. If you're new here, don't forget to click subscribe and that little bell so you get the notifications when new videos go live. Until next time, bye bye.